If you're like me, you watch a lot of stand-up, but not all of it's good. Next time you start a comedy special or showcase that isn't meeting your expectations, instead of turning it off and admitting entertainment defeat, why not get fucking toasted instead, with these common stand-up tropes to watch out for. You can also apply some of these to good comics if you want an added boost to rewatching them. Drink if the comedian walks out on stage and asks the crowd how they're doing. The audience just told you how they're doing. That's what that whole cheering section was for while we were taking the mic off the stand. You've never asked that question and gotten a response other than woo during a TV appearance. It's not like they're going to collectively respond in a rousing chorus of, we're okay, tickets were expensive. It's a predictable formality that stalls the show. Drink whenever the comedian uses the phrase, in my entire life. That one's a favorite. Exaggeration is a key ingredient in comedy, and though repeatedly used to a fault, in my entire life is still usually a laugh line, though we can probably agree it's more effective than saying since last week. Drink every time the comedian checks in with the crowd to make sure he's telling a story properly. He'll say something like, so I was at the doctor, right? We don't know, we weren't there. We don't follow you wherever you go and verify that everything you say is true. You're on stage, we're not. We'll take your word for whatever you tell us. I'd love it if just once a comedian was like, so I was at Bank of America, right? And some guy stands up in the crowd and yells, he's lying, it was Wells Fargo, I checked the security camera footage. Drink every time the comedian uses the word to dodge the punchline of a joke they just told. It seems like a lot of comedians today aren't confident in their jokes and have these fail-safes in play in case they don't get a laugh. Is supposed to act as a life preserver to drift you from a sinking joke boat to one that might end up floating, but I'm of the mind that the captain should always go down with his ship. Isn't disguising or concealing your failed joke either. A moving bush might sneak past guards in a cartoon, but I dare you to try that shit in real life. If you think your joke is good and it doesn't get a response, let it ring out, then comment on the absurdity of it. That way you maintain control. Drink every time the comedian's third tag of a joke gets a small round of applause, but he decides to add a fourth tag anyway. You can milk a joke all you want, just know its expiration date is nearby, preparing to turn it sour. Tag 3 was kind of a success, take your victory and move on. Drink every time the comedian states his stance on a social issue with no joke whatsoever, and the audience applauds. You want to have political rallies run for president. Opinions need jokes to be objectively beneficial, even to people who disagree with them. Otherwise, you might as well just be on Facebook sharing links to Bernie Sanders videos and typing fire emojis underneath them. Drink every time the comedian asks any specific member of the audience anything, and a hush falls over the room because nobody, least of all them, wants them to be part of the show. At least magicians have the decency to ask for volunteers. If I'm at a comedy show, I'm there to receive comedy, not amateurishly help create it. Crowd work is deeply respected by many members of the comedy community. The ability to improv is naturally occurring and can't be cultivated. But asking about someone's boring life and fetching a reserved joke from your collection of planned, workable responses isn't my cup of tea. Drink every time you can tell the audience feels obligated to applaud the comedian after it's clear he put a lot of effort into an unfunny bit. Being animated will get you far, they say. For some people, the only way they can earn applause breaks is to sweat for them. Their concept is shallow and their jokes are weak, but as long as you're running back and forth across the stage yelling, there's a clap light at the end of a dark, awkward tunnel. Drink if it's apparent that the comedian is using a loud, shouty tone of voice to compensate for shit material. Being loud doesn't make you funny, just means you can't hear the audience reacting middlingly to your content. Drown your sorrows in booze if there wasn't one above-average joke in a comedian's whole set, but they still managed to get on TV. I assume because they're so damn mediocrely prolific in the club circuit that they wouldn't stop bothering producers. And finally, rip your fermented liver out of your cold dead body if the comedian is trying to establish a stupid fucking catchphrase. If you've noticed trends in the stand-up you watch that I didn't mention, feel free to add your own points to this list. If you enjoyed the video, you can like, share, and subscribe, and perhaps I'll see you guys next time.